హలో ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఎ వెరీ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ ఎవ్రీవన్. అందరికీ శుభోదయం. సో ఈరోజు మనం మాట్లాడుకోబోయే టాపిక్ ఏంటంటే యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా. ఓకే, సో నౌ లెట్ us see what are the topics to cover in the anti defection law. So first one is we should know what is anti defection law. So why it is needed actually. So what are the amendments that has to be needed for the anti defection law, and what are the features of anti defection law, and later on we talk about the grounds of defection. Okay, so how it is affecting the political system, and we'll talk about the merits and demerits of anti-defection law and their ambiguities, the global scenario of anti-defection law, and finally we will end up with the scope of reforms, that is called way forward. Okay, so all these things we'll cover today in the anti-defection law. సో ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం ఈరోజు కవర్ చేద్దామమ్మా రిగార్డింగ్ ద యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా. క్లియర్? ఓకే, సో నౌ లెట్ us see what is యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా. యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా అంటే ఏంటో ఒకసారి చూద్దాం. ఓకే, సో బిఫోర్ గోయింగ్ ఇన్ టు ద యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా వీ నీడ్ టు నో వాట్ ఈస్ డిఫెక్షన్. సో డిఫెక్షన్ అంటే ఏంటి చూడండి. సో దిట్ ఈస్ యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ టూ వర్డ్స్. వన్ ఈస్ డిఫెక్షన్ అండ్ వన్ ఈస్ యాంటీ. ఓకే, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ సేయింగ్ whenever you will get the word anti, that is called, it is opposing or contradicting it. Okay, so defection means to abandon a position or association or often joining in a opposing group is called as defection. Okay, సో జనరల్గా తెలుగులో ఏం చెప్తామంటే ఫిరాయింపులు అంటాం. ఓకే, సో పార్టీ ఫిరాయింపులు చట్టం ఆర్ ఫిరాయింపులు జరగకుండా తీసుకొచ్చేటువంటి చట్టాన్ని ఏమంటామమ్మా యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ అంటాము. ఓకే, సో డిఫెక్షన్ ఇన్ అవర్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ generally refers it is abandon a position or any kind of association or group or party and to join in the opposing group, so that is called the defection. Clear? సో తెలుగులో ఏమంటాం ఫిరాయింపులు అంటాం. ఓకేనా? సో డిఫెక్షన్ ఇన్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ పాలిటీ రిఫర్స్ టు సిచ్యువేషన్ వేర్ ద మెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పొలిటికల్ పార్టీ గివ్స్ అప్ హిస్ పొజిషన్ అండ్ హీ విల్ జాయిన్ ఇన్ టు అదర్ పార్టీ. సపోజ్ ఇతను ఏ పార్టీలో ఉన్నారనుకోండి, సపోజ్ హిస్ పార్టీ నేమ్ ఈజ్ ఏ. ఓకే, అండ్ సడన్లీ హీ విల్ షిఫ్ట్ టు ద పార్టీ బి. ఓకే, సో ఏ పార్టీలో గెలిచినటువంటి వ్యక్తి సో వెంటనే ఏమవుతారమ్మా, సో ఆఫ్టర్ విన్నింగ్ ద ఎలక్షన్ హీ వాంట్స్ టు మూవ్ టు ద పార్టీ బి. ఓకే, అండ్ సపోజ్ హీ వాంట్ టు మూవ్ ఫ్రమ్ పార్టీ బి టు పార్టీ సి, దేర్ ఆల్సో హీ కెన్ మూవ్. ఓకే, సో ఇట్లా ఏమవుతుంది, ఒక ఎమ్మెల్యే కానీ ఒక ఎంపీ కానీ తరచుగా తన పార్టీని మారుతూ తన యొక్క పొజిషన్ని మార్చుకుంటా వేరే వేరే అపోజింగ్ పార్టీలు జాయిన్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు సో అట్లాంటి పొజిషన్ ఏమంటాం మనం డిఫెక్షన్ అంటాము. ఓకే, సో ఫిరాయింపులు అంటాం. సో టు కంట్రోల్ దిస్ సిచ్యువేషన్, ఓకే, సో గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా, ఓకే, సో దట్ టైమ్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ వాజ్ రాజీవ్ గాంధీ గవర్నమెంట్. సో రాజీవ్ గాంధీ గవర్నమెంట్ పాస్ ద యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా ఇన్ 1985. ఓకే, so through 52nd constitutional amendment, and it added this anti defection law in the 10th schedule of the constitution. Okay, సో దీన్ని ఏం చేశారమ్మా, సో యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లాని ఇట్లా పార్టీ ఫిరాయింపులు నిరోధించడానికి సో ఒక చట్టాన్ని మనం రూపొందించుకోవాలి. ఇట్లా అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, సో తరచుగా గెలిచినటువంటి వ్యక్తి తన యొక్క లబ్ధి కోసం తన యొక్క ఎదుగుదల కోసం ఒక పార్టీ ఏ పార్టీ నుంచి గెలుస్తున్నారో ఆ పార్టీ కాకుండా వేరే పార్టీలోకి ఫిరాయింపులు చేస్తున్నారని చెప్పి ఈ చట్టాన్ని తీసుకురావడం జరిగింది. ఓకే, సో యాక్చువల్లీ దెర్ వాజ్ ఏ హిస్టారికల్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ రిగార్డింగ్ ద యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్. సో లెట్ మీ టాక్ అబౌట్ దట్. సో ఇన్ 1967, okay, so there was a Haryana MLA called Gayalal. Okay, so this person, okay, he was the MLA of Haryana Legislative Assembly. Okay, so he shifted the political party 3 times in a day. ఒక్క రోజులో ఇతను 3 సార్లు పార్టీ మారాడమ్మా. ఓకే, సో ఫ్రమ్ కాంగ్రెస్ టు జనతా పార్టీ, దెన్ అగైన్ టు కాంగ్రెస్ అండ్ అగైన్ టు జనతా పార్టీ. సో ఫ్రమ్ హిస్ నేమ్, సో దేర్ వాజ్ ఎ స్లోగన్ కాల్డ్ ఆయారామ్ గయారామ్ అనేటువంటి ఒక స్లోగన్ని కూడా సో పొలిటికల్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ కింద మనం చెప్తాము. ఓకే, బికాస్ any person is defecting the party, so we used to use this phrase called ayaram gayaram. Okay, because he was the person who defected the party for 3 times in a single day. Okay, so it became the political phrase, it became the very popular phrase in the Indian politics, referring the legislatures who are MLAs or MPs frequently changing their party. So the anti-defection law that was passed in 1985 through the 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so under the Rajiv Gandhi government, it amended four important articles in the Indian Constitution, that are 101, 102, 190 and 191. All these four articles were related to the, so article 101 and 190 were related to the vacating of seats in the Lok Sabha as well as the Legislative Assembly, whereas disqualification of MPs of MLAs especially related to the 102 and 191 articles of the Constitution. Clear? So this anti-defection law, they will put forward the process. So what kind of process will be used? Okay, to remove the legislators who are defecting the party, who are not showing allegiance to the political parties. Understand? So this law applicable to the both parliament as well as state legislative assemblies, and the presiding officer. Okay, whoever sits in the chair as a presiding officer, he may be the speaker or deputy speaker or chairman or whoever. Okay, so any presiding officer who is sitting on that chair, he will decide the questions on defection. Clear? So why we need the anti-defection law? Okay, so why the anti-defection law came to the forefront in the political scenarios of 1985? Okay, so the statement, objectives and reasons of the bill which was added in the anti-defection law. Okay, so because the people especially who are getting MPs and MLAs, they are frequently defecting the parties. I told you Ayaram, Gayaram situations are happening. Okay, so they are winning the election in the name of one party and they are defecting to other parties. So this will destabilize the political structure. Okay, so it is against the people's mandate and it will become a national concern if political defections are happening in a regular way. So we cannot form a stable government. Okay, so stable government అనేది చాలా ఇబ్బందికరంగా మారుతుంది, because so powerful people can dethrone the political party, especially the governments, with the use of money and manpower. So one more important thing, that National Commission to review the working of the Constitution, okay, said that the parties who are giving tickets, okay, so it is the parties who are the political parties who are giving the tickets to the people and they are electing into MLAs and MPs, okay, and simply they are defecting the party where they are getting ticket, and it is especially disturbing the political fabric of the Constitution. So now let us see about the main features of the anti-defection law. So what are the main features of anti-defection law? So obviously Article 102 and 191 talks about the disqualification of the MLAs according to the 10th schedule. Okay, so amendment of Article 102 and 191 gives authority to the 10th schedule to disqualify any of the member who is going against the anti-defection law. How this anti-defection law will work? Okay, so let us see. So generally this anti-defection law is applicable to the members of political parties who will become either MLAs or MPs. So they will be disqualified under this anti-defection law. Okay, so what are the provisions? Let us see. So first one is, if he voluntarily gives up his membership from the political party. Suppose if a person wants to give up his political party, okay, especially the membership of political party he want to give up, okay, he want to join in other party, he want to give up the political membership. So in that way he has to lose its MLA or MP seat in the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly respectively. Okay, so వాలంటరీగా తను మెంబర్షిప్ను వదులుకుంటే, ఆటోమేటిక్గా పొలిటికల్ పార్టీ మెంబర్షిప్ వదులుకుంటే, సో ఖచ్చితంగా అతను ఎమ్మెల్యే పదకు ఎంపీ పదకు రాజీనామా చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, హీ విల్ బి డిస్క్వాలిఫైడ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద బీయింగ్ ఎ మెంబర్ ఆఫ్ legislative assemblies or Lok Sabha or any kind of Rajya Sabha also. Okay, so secondly, so votes or does not vote in the house contrary to the direction of the political party. Okay, suppose there will be political party, so political party will decide their political interest according to the political interest, so they will keep the whip. Okay, so the whip will always organizing the political party leaders, okay, who are became their own members of the party, so he will decided to use the whip. So according to the whip, the political party will work. Okay, so all the members of the political party who are in the MLAs, who are in the MP positions, they have to vote according to the directions given by the whip of the party. So such persons will be automatically disqualified. Okay, so the chief whip will go to the speaker. He will say to the, so this person defected our own mandate. Okay, so he's going against the whip of the party. So please disqualify him. So such actions will be taken immediately by the speaker according to the political party wishes. Okay, and one more important thing: if a member has taken prior permission from the party within the 15 days, okay, regarding the voting or abstaining of the voting, okay, such member, such person should not be disqualified. Okay, that means if a person is taking party permission, okay, that he will abandon, that he will abstain the voting, okay, so such person should not be disqualified under anti-defection law. Clear? And what about the independent member? Okay, so we are talking about the MLAs which are from the political parties. So what is the fate of the independent member? So independent member, actually what he will do, so independent member does not belong to any political party. Okay, so this independent member, suppose he won the election, he will become the member of legislative assembly or MP to the particular respective houses. Okay, and thereafter he wants to join to the any party, so such person will be disqualified under anti defection law. Okay, so ఇండిపెండెంట్ గా గెలిచినటువంటి వ్యక్తి సో మళ్ళీ త్వరగా ఇండిపెండెంట్ గా కాకుండా వేరే పార్టీలోకి ఫిరాయింపు అయ్యాడు అనుకోండి. ఓకే, సో దట్ సచ్ పర్సన్ విల్ బి disqualified under anti defection law. Clear? So next will be the nominated person. So how nominated member, so especially nominated members will be in the scene of Rajya Sabha as well as legislative councils. So these nominated members of the house will be disqualified if he joins any political party. So after the 6 months of his prior nomination to the house, such person will be disqualified under anti-defection law. Okay, so this is about the disqualification grounds based on the political party. Okay, so MLAs belong to the political parties, independent member and nominated member. Okay, so be clear with this topic. It is very very important for preliminary aspect. So now let us see what are the exceptions regarding the anti-defection law. Okay, so what were the exceptions that was mentioned in the anti-defection law of 1985? Okay, so let us see. So first one is merger. So any kind of merger with a political party with another party. So suppose I'll give you example. Suppose you have party A. Okay, so party A is having 20 elected members. Okay, so whereas party B is having 50 elected members. Okay, so in order to form the government, so they required 60 representatives. Okay, altogether. Understand? So what is merger means, if any political party, if political party A wants to merge with B, okay, so almost all 2/3 of the members should go and join to the party B. Then only it won't be, there won't be any having anti-defection law. Okay, so such members will be void of anti-defection law. Okay, understand? That means in the anti-defection law, mergers were allowed. Mergers can take place within the parties. Okay, so such members are moving to the merging. Okay, so they won't be disqualified under anti-defection law. అర్థమైందా? If any members leaves the party due to the merger, such member cannot be disqualified under anti-defection law. Clear? సో ఇక్కడ మనకి 20 ఉన్నారు కదా, సో అవుట్ ఆఫ్ 20, 2/3 అంటే ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఆల్ 15 members. ఓకే, సో ఈ 15 members are defecting to other party, so such defection cannot be disqualified because it is a kind of merger. So majority of the people, 2/3 of the people are members of the party, are agreed to such merger, so automatically they won't be disqualified. So speaker cannot disqualify them because mergers were allowed in the anti-defection law. Okay, so recently so many mergers were happened in India. Okay, so Maharashtra lo తీసుకోండి, కర్ణాటకలో తీసుకోండి. Okay, even in Telangana, so we'll have this kind of mergers. Telangana TDP, parliamentary TDP party, so completely merged into the TRS party. Okay, so these are the present day examples regarding the mergers. Okay, so but one more important thing here, if 1/3 members of the political party wanted to defect to the other party, so that will be not encouraged. So that is called as split. So splits were not encouraged by the political parties. So in the anti-defection law, splits were considered as unconstitutional. So any person, any member leaving the party in the form of splitting, so he will be disqualified under anti-defection law. ఎప్పుడైతే 1/3 కంటే తక్కువ పీపుల్ ఒక పార్టీ నుంచి ఇంకో పార్టీకి ఫిరాయించారో, సో అట్లాంటి వాటిని స్ప్లిట్స్ అంటామా. సో స్ప్లిట్స్ వోంట్ బి ఎంకరేజ్డ్ అకార్డింగ్ టు ద యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా. క్లియర్? And one more important point regarding the presiding officer. Okay, so person who is sitting as a presiding officer, he can give up the membership of political party. Okay, so in general in India, presiding officers or any kind of speaker or chairmen, okay, so they don't want to give up their political membership. Okay, they will continue as a political member as well as the presiding officer of the particular house also. Clear? But in the Britain, there is a convention that, so who are elected as a presiding officer, so they should be leave the party. Okay, so after his tenure, so he can again join into the party. So such same thing that was present in the anti-defection law. That means if any member can give up the membership of political party after being elected as a presiding officer, okay, so later he can rejoin the party after his tenure of the house is ending. ఓకే, సో వాళ్ళ హౌస్ ఆఫ్ ద టెన్యూర్ ఎండ్ అయినప్పుడు, సో మళ్ళీ ఏ పార్టీలోంచి మనం బయటకు వచ్చామో ఆ పార్టీలో మళ్ళీ తిరిగి జాయిన్ అయ్యేటువంటి అవకాశం ఉంది. ఓకే, ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ద ప్రిసైడింగ్ ఆఫీసర్, నాట్ ఫర్ ఎనీ అదర్ మెంబర్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఎక్సెప్షన్ ఈస్ ప్రొవైడెడ్ టు ఎన్ష్యూర్ ఇంపార్షియాలిటీ ఇన్ ద హౌస్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రిసైడింగ్ ఆఫీసర్. ఈ ప్రావిజన్ ఎందుకు తీసుకొచ్చారమ్మా? బికాస్ స్పీకర్ హ్యాస్ టు బీ వెరీ మచ్ ఇంపార్షియల్, వెరీ మచ్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఆఫ్ ద పొలిటికల్ ఆఫీసర్స్. ఓకే, సో స్పీకర్ అనేవాళ్ళు అందరికీ సంబంధించినటువంటి వ్యక్తి. ఓకే, స్పీకర్ పోస్ట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఏ పొలిటికల్ పోస్ట్. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ పోస్ట్. క్లియర్? టు మెయింటైన్ ద ఇంటిగ్రిటీ, డిగ్నిటీ ఆఫ్ ద పోస్ట్, సో హీ హ్యాస్ టు మెయింటైన్ దట్ ఇంపార్షియాలిటీ ఇన్ ద హౌస్ అనమాట. క్లియర్? సో ఫైనల్లీ థర్డ్ వన్, డిసైడింగ్ అథారిటీ. సో the presiding officer of the houses of the speaker, especially in the speaker of Lok Sabha, chairman of Raj Sabha, so they have the deciding authority to discuss the disqualification due to defections. సో 10th షెడ్యూల్లో సంబంధించినటువంటి డిఫెక్షన్స్ని మాట్లాడడానికి సో ఎవరు ఉంటారమ్మా డిసైడింగ్ అథారిటీ? సో ఎయిదర్ ఇట్ విల్ బి స్పీకర్ ఆఫ్ లోక్సభ ఆర్ చైర్మన్ ఆఫ్ ద రాజ్యసభ జనరల్లీ. ఓకే, సో రిమెంబర్ ద ప్రిసైడింగ్ ఆఫీసర్ విల్ డిసైడ్, నాట్ ద స్పీకర్ ఓన్లీ. ఓకే, సో నెక్స్ట్ విల్ బి ద రూల్ మేకింగ్ పవర్. Okay, so presiding officer in the house has the power to make the rules regarding to the 10th schedule. However, it must be placed before the house for 30 days so the house can modify or disapprove the rules. Okay, so presiding officer, speaker or chairman of Rajya Sabha, so he can prescribe the rules regarding to the 10th schedule, but all these amendments, all these provisions has to be approved by the concerned houses within the 30 days, otherwise they won't be valid at all. Clear? So rule making power will be decided by the total house. Okay, so presiding officer can formulate the rules, okay, regarding the 10th schedule, but the house has to approve it. Okay, so house అంతా కూడా ఏం చేయాలమ్మా, దాన్ని అప్రూవ్ చేయాలి. అప్పుడు మాత్రం ఏమవుతుంది, సో అది యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లాలోకి కొత్త రూల్గా వెళ్తుంది. క్లియర్? సో నౌ లెట్ us టాక్ అబౌట్ ద గ్రౌండ్స్ ఆఫ్ డిఫెక్షన్. ఓకే, సో ఏ గ్రౌండ్స్ మీద మనకి ఈ ఫిరాయింపుల్ని చేస్తారు? ఓకే, so generally voluntarily giving up of the membership. Okay, so if a person, elected person, voluntarily to give up the membership from the political party, so that will be the ground of defection. So violation of instructions. Okay, so if any party member or any MLA or MP, he is going against the directions of the political party or political whip without taking permission, he will be disqualified under anti-defection law. Okay, so any elected member, if an independently elected member joins any political party, so he will be kept under the defection. Okay, so if any nominated member joins any political party after the expiry of 6 months, so all these members will be kept under the grounds of defection. So next topic is how the defection affecting the political system. Okay, so defection obviously affect the political system. It will disrupt the fabric of the political democracy in India. Okay, so like subversion of the electoral mandates. Okay, suppose a person is elected as a MLA or MP. Okay, so he is nicely moving into the other parties without any problem until 1985. So I told example Ayaram Gayaram. That means if a party is giving ticket, he is electing on that particular symbol. Okay, he should be allegiance to the particular party, but in spite of that he is moving out of that particular party for any kind of money or any kind of post or any kind of manpower. All these things were happening in the day-to-day life of Indian houses. Okay, clear? So defection of subversion of electoral mandate by the legislatures is one of the biggest problem in the anti-defection law. Okay, So what they will do, they will lure for opportunity of giving the CM post. Okay, sometimes they will give deputy CM. Some people will be lured to get the ministerial benefits or any kind of financial gains. All these are the actually acting as a subversion of electoral mandate. Okay, సో ఇట్లాంటివన్నీ మనం తరచుగా చూస్తున్నాం. రీసెంట్లీ ఇన్ ద మహారాష్ట్ర దిస్ వాస్ కంప్లీట్లీ హ్యాపెండ్, ఈవెన్ ఇన్ ద కర్ణాటక, గోవా, అరుణాచల్ ప్రదేశ్. సో దెర్ ఇస్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ defections were happened from other political parties to the major government party. Clear? So affect, so this kind of defections also affecting the normal functioning of the government. Okay, the infamous ayaram gayaram slogan was coined against the background of continuous defections in the legislatures in 1960s. Okay, 1960s లో తరచుగా ఏమైంది, సో పీపుల్ ఆర్ డిఫెక్టింగ్. సో obviously the all the MLAs or MPs are forming the government. Okay, they are the part and parcel of the government. So when these people are defecting in an everyday basis, so automatically it will destabilize the government. Okay, it is affecting the normal functions of the government. Clear? And this is also promoting the horse trading. Okay, so every day the electors, the legislators will be traded in the market like a horses. Okay, so this is clearly against the mandate that was set up in the democratic India. Clear? సో గుర్రాలను ఎలా కొనుక్కుంటారో, పందెం గుర్రాలని అట్లా కొనుక్కోవడం అనేది అలవాటు అయిపోయింది మన ఇండియాలో. సో దిస్ వాస్ గో క్లియర్లీ అగేన్స్ట్ ద డెమోక్రటిక్ సెటప్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇండియన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్. క్లియర్? సో నౌ లెట్ us see some of the merits of the anti defection law. So ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ప్రివెంటింగ్ ద డిఫెక్షన్. సో డిఫెక్షన్స్ని ప్రివెంట్ చేయడానికి ఖచ్చితంగా ఇది ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. అట్లీస్ట్ సో ఇట్ విల్ బి యాక్ట్స్ యాజ్ ఎ మోడరేట్ లెవెల్. ఐ కాంట్ సే ఇట్ ఈస్ 100%, అట్లీస్ట్ 70 to 80% it is stopping the defections in a appropriate way. Okay, and it is promoting the stability of the government. So this anti defection law is promoting the stability of the government, not by defecting the members of the party. Okay, and it is promoting the party discipline. So whoever wins under the party ticket, they have to own allegiance to the particular party, they have to own allegiance to the party whip. ఓకే, సో పార్టీ విప్ ఏం చెప్తుందో సో దానికి కట్టుబడేటువంటి నిబంధన అయితే ఉంది. సో ఆ నిబంధనకి ఖచ్చితంగా ఇది ఒక మెరిట్ కింద మనం చెప్పచ్చు. ఓకే, సో ఇట్ విల్ రెడ్యూస్ ద పొలిటికల్ కరప్షన్ బికాస్ ఇట్ విల్ రెడ్యూస్ ద హార్స్ ట్రేడింగ్. ఓకే, ఇట్ విల్ రెడ్యూస్ ద పొలిటికల్ లూర్ బై ద అదర్ పార్టీస్. ఓకే, సో ఇట్లాంటివన్నీ కూడా ఈ యొక్క యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ అనేది చాలా వరకు కంట్రోల్ చేస్తుంది. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ప్రమోటింగ్ ద citizens trust in the elected legislatures. Okay, so it is also upholding the people's mandate. Okay, సో ఎవరైతే ఎలక్షన్లో వాళ్ళని గెలిపించుకున్నారో సో వాళ్ళని ఆ పార్టీలో ఉంచే విధంగా సో ఇక యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ అనేది కూడా చాలా వరకు హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది, దోహదపడుతుంది. ఓకే, సో బికాస్ we people are voting for the candidate, voting for the party. Suppose these people are going against out of the party or moving into opposition party, so that is not a people's mandate. People didn't vote for that particular party, so why these persons are winning after the election, they are moving into the other party? It is completely against the people's mandate, it is completely against the democracy. Okay, and also it is improving the governance. Okay, so when the government is stable, okay, it can concentrate fully on the governance and administration. So obviously anti defection law is promoting the governance in a very very good way. And one more important point, if majority of the members wants to move from other party, that means if there is any kind of political anarchy that was happening in the political party, so they can also realign with the other parties. Okay, it is promoting the realignment of political parties in the house through a democratic process because it is considering the majority of the members. Okay, if majority of the members were agreeing to be go for the merger with other party, it can be done. Okay, so majority is always the principle of democracy. So that was upholding by this anti defection law, but is completely rejecting the minority decisions, especially splitting. So split అనేది ఏంటమ్మా, 1/3 people are defecting the party, so that was completely violating the anti defection law. So that kind of splits were not encouraged by the anti defection law. Clear? So it is also reducing the expenditure of frequent elections because one person is defecting from other party, he has to resign. Okay, so it will bring lot of election expenditure also. Okay, so this unnecessary election expenditure is a burden on the all the people of the country. Okay, so it is affecting the public exchequer of the country. Clear? And constitutional recognition to the political parties. So political parties also play important role. So they have the constitutional status. So election commission has the authority to provide symbols to the political parties, give recognition to the political parties. Okay, so other than that, anti-defection law also give recognition to the political parties in the constitution for the first time. Okay, because political party recognition was nowhere mentioned in the constitution. Okay, but it was given authority by the election commission and also the anti-defection law that was mentioned in 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Clear? So these are the merits regarding the anti-defection law. And now let us see about some of the demerits also. So what were the demerits regarding the anti-defection law? So demerits ఏంటో చూద్దామా. So it is violating the freedom of expression. So freedom of expression was clearly mentioned in Article 19 of the Constitution. Okay. So this anti-defection law is forcing the individual legislators to follow the party whip. Okay. So what it is saying that means if any person who was elected as a MLA or MP from the particular political party, he is losing its freedom of expression. So this was the actual demerit that was happened in the anti-defection law. That means he cannot express his feelings other than the party whip. సో పార్టీ ఏం చెప్తే అదే చేయాలి. సో ఆ పార్టీకి వ్యతిరేకంగా పాల్పడితే సో పార్టీ వ్యతిరేక కార్యకలాపాలు పాడుపడినట్టు ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఏమవుతుందమ్మా. సో అట్లాంటి వాళ్ళని సో దే విల్ బి యూస్డ్ అండర్ యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్లో యూజ్ చేసి వాళ్ళని రిమూవ్ చేసేస్తారు. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ వైలేటింగ్ ద ఫ్రీడమ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్. అండర్స్టాండ్? సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ఇంటర్ఫియరింగ్ ద ఇండివిజువల్ మెంబర్స్ ఫ్రీడమ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ by curbing the dissent against the political policies of the party whip. Okay, so if a person don't like the party policy, okay, suppose parties wants to move against the women, okay, so this person don't want to do that, but because of the anti-defection law he has to do. Okay, if he goes dissent against the party, he will be removed by the party. Okay, so whip will complain to the speaker and speaker will remove him from the MLA or MP post. That is the problematic scenario in the anti-defection law. Okay, so it will lower the accountability of elected candidate towards its electorate. Okay, that means it will become party's decisions. Okay, party decisions is especially gaining more importance than the individual decisions. Okay, so he has to work regarding the party dikkat. పార్టీ ఏం చెప్తే అనేది చేయాలి. పార్టీ సిద్ధాంతమే తన సిద్ధాంతంగా మారిపోతుంది అనమాట. అట్లాంటప్పుడు వీళ్ళకి ఒక పొలిటికల్ కాన్సెన్స్ అనేది ఉంది. ఓకే, హీ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ జడ్జ్మెంట్, హీ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్. ఓకే, సో ప్రజలకు ఏమి ఇష్టమో, ప్రజలకు ఏమి ఇంపార్టెంటో, ఓకే, సో ఇతను ఏం ప్రజల కోసం ఫీల్ అవుతున్నాడో అట్లాంటివన్నీ కూడా పక్కన పెట్టాల్సి వస్తుంది. బికాస్ ఇట్ విల్ లోవర్ ద అకౌంటబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్టెడ్ క్యాండిడేట్ అండ్ హీ హ్యాస్ టు వర్క్ లైక్ ఏ పార్టీ పర్సన్. ఓకే, so it also lower the elected representative accountability to the electorate. ఓకే, సో ప్రజలకి ఏదైనా కావాలనుకోండి ఆటోమేటిక్గా ప్రజాప్రతినిధిని అడుగుతూ ఉంటారు. ఓకే, బట్ ఎప్పుడైతే ప్రజాప్రతినిధి తన యొక్క ప్రజల కోరికలు తీర్చలేకపోతాడో హీఈస్ లూజింగ్ ఇట్స్ అకౌంటబిలిటీ. ఓకే, సో అట్లాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్ కూడా ఈ యొక్క యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ అనేది తీసుకొస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా బ్రేక్స్ ద లింక్ బిట్వీన్ ద ఎలక్టెడ్ లెజిస్లేటర్స్ అండ్ ఎలక్టోర్ పీపుల్. ఓకే, సో ఎవరైతే ప్రజలు ఉంటారో ప్రజలకి మధ్య అట్లాగే ఎమ్మెల్యేకి మధ్య సత్సంబంధాలు కోల్పోవడానికి ఒక యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ల కారణం కూడా అవుతుంది. బికాస్ హీ హ్యాస్ టు వర్క్ అగేన్స్ట్ ద పార్టీ విప్. ఓకే, సో ప్రజలు చెప్పేది పార్టీ చెప్పేది వేరేగా ఉందనుకోండి, సో పార్టీ చెప్పింది మాత్రమే ఈయన వినాల్సి ఉంటుంది. అదర్వైజ్ ఏమవుతుంది, తన యొక్క పదవిని కోల్పోయేటువంటి ప్రమాదం ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ రిగార్డింగ్ ద యాంటీ డిఫెక్షన్ లా. క్లియర్? And there will be weak oversight. Okay, so the law weakens the legislator oversight on the executive action as they're bound by the party whip. So party whip ki anugunanga మాత్రమే పనిచేయాలి. ఓకే, సో హీ షుడ్ నాట్ థింక్ అబౌట్ ఎనీ అదర్ థింగ్స్. అర్థమైందా? సో అతనికి ఓవర్సైట్ అనేది ఉండకూడదు. ఓకే, సో నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసి మనకి అగేన్స్ట్ ఇంటర్నల్ పార్టీ డెమోక్రసీ. సో దిస్ లా రిమూవ్స్ ద నీడ్ ఫర్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ టు బిల్డ్ బ్రాడ్ కన్సెన్సస్ ఫర్ ఇట్స్ పొలిటికల్ డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్. Okay, so ruling party can ensure support of each of its MP by issuing whip. Okay, so thus it is working against the internal party democracy. That means whatever the political decisions that are taken by the house, so that has to be taken by consent of all the members of the house. Okay, but what they are doing because of anti-defection law, okay, so this party is saying something, this party is saying other thing. Okay, సో ఆల్ ద మెంబర్స్ షుడ్ అబ్లైజ్ దేర్ ఓన్ పార్టీ విప్స్. సో ఎవరికి వాళ్ళు విప్పులు ఇచ్చుకోవడం వల్ల ఏమవుతుందమ్మా, ఇట్ బికేమ్ లైక్ ఏ గ్రూపింగ్. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ లైక్ ఫార్మింగ్ లైక్ ఏ కన్సెన్సస్. దెర్ ఇస్ నో డెలిబరేషన్. ఓకే, సో దెర్ ఇస్ నో డిస్కషన్. and there is no decision making properly without consulting each other. Okay, ఒక కన్సెన్సస్తో ఒక డెలిబరేషన్తో మనకి ఇక్కడ చట్టాలు అనేవి రూపొందట్లేదు. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ హ్యాపెనింగ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దర్ ఇంటర్నల్ డెసిషన్స్, పార్టీ డెసిషన్స్ బట్టి చట్టాలు అనేవి రూపొందుతున్నాయి, విచ్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద సోల్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇండియన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ వాంటెడ్. ఓకే, సో భారత రాజ్యాంగం దీన్ని కోరుకోలేదు. ఓకే, సో ఆల్ ద డెమోక్రసీస్ దే వాంట్ టు టాక్ డిస్కషన్ ద థింగ్స్, దే వాంట్ టు డెలిబరేట్ ద థింగ్స్. Okay, then only they can come up with the proper act. Okay, so that was not happening because of this anti-defection law. Clear? So finally, proliferation of small political parties. Okay, so this law leads to the birth of small political parties out of the existing ones. Okay, and also it is bringing very much instability in the government. Okay, so especially coalition parties were getting so much of problematic situation because of this anti-defection law. Okay, so coalitions అంటే ఏంటమ్మా? So when any of the party is not getting a magic mark, okay, so they don't get any kind of magic mark or any kind of, suppose magic mark అంటే ఏంటి, 100 seats ఉన్నాయనుకోండి. So any political party should get 50 seats. Okay, if any political party failing to reach 50 seats, so then they can merge, they can take the coalition of other two parties or any kind of parties, so they can form the government. Okay, so who are the parties they are giving support to the majority party? Okay, so they will threaten the government, they will lure for money, they will seek the minister post. Okay, so which is kind of uncoalition. This kind of coalition will be very much unstable. Okay, they will threat for smaller things also. Even the smaller political parties will threaten the larger parties because of this anti-defection law. Clear? So next will be the individual versus group defection. Okay, so this law is allowing the group defection like mergers, but it is not allowing the individual defections, which is quite controversy actually. Okay, which is very very irrational. Understand, it is allowing the mergers of political parties, but it is not allowing any kind of splits or individual defections. Okay, that is one of the cons regarding the anti-defection law. Okay, so discrimination between the nominated member and also the independent member. Okay, so independent member, that means he does not belong to any political party. Okay, so he will be disqualified if he joins any kind of political party after its election. That means independent member, okay, if person got independent, okay, if he elected as independent member, he should not join any kind of political party. Okay, suppose if he join any kind of political party, he will be automatically disqualified under anti-defection law. Okay, for suppose a nominated person of the house became disqualified if he joins any political party after 6 months of time. Okay, so after his nomination to the house, so this discrimination was happened between the nominated as well as the independent member. Okay, so finally bias in the decision making of the authority. Okay, so presiding officer also is not impartial because he is belong to the political party. So speaker is not a independent person. So this is also leading to so much controversy in the Indian constitution also. Okay, so especially the presiding officer who lacks legal expertise, okay, to use the quasi judicial powers, that is also a problematic situation because they don't have knowledge regarding the legality, they don't know how to use the judicial powers. Okay, so they are end up in making the biased decisions. So now what are the ambiguities in the anti-defection law? So ambiguities ento chuddam anti-defection law. So first one is, it is against the right to freedom of speech of expression. Okay, and regarding the 10th schedule. So many questions were raised according to the 10th schedule of the constitution. It is completely affecting the freedom of speech and expression. Okay, this was also mentioned in the Supreme Court judgment that is called Kyoto Holohan versus Jachilhu. Okay, so this case was very very famous case regarding the anti-defection law. Okay, so this case said that 1993, okay, so the anti-defection law rules were not violating the legislative features, freedom of speech and expression. Okay, so Supreme Court clearly said that in this judgment that, so what are the provisions that are in the 10th schedule of the constitution that is not violating the freedom of speech and expression of any legislators. Okay, next is lack of complete clarity. So lack of complete clarity, especially the act is having so much of ambiguity. Okay, so this anti-defection law is showing so much of partiality regarding the elected members as well as nominated members and also the independent members. Okay, it is having so much of unclarity regarding the, it is encouraging the mergers, it is discouraging the individual defections. All these are very, very ambiguity. Okay, so these are ambiguous in nature regarding the anti-defection law. And there is a word called voluntarily give up. So voluntarily giving up of the membership of the party is also a very, very ambiguous word. Okay, very vague word, I can say. Clear. So it can be represented in number of ways, not just the formal resignation of the party. Okay, so there was a case called Ravi Naik. So Ravi Naik versus Union of India case. So in that case, Supreme Court said that the conduct of member can also be amounted to leaving the party. Okay, so regarding the conduct also, so conduct will be the other criteria regarding the voluntarily giving up of the party membership. Okay, so if the conduct of the particular person is not good, okay, so party can say that you please vacate the party. Okay, so that is also a voluntarily giving up of the membership of the party will come. Okay, so the word phrase voluntarily giving up is very much ambiguous in the anti-defection law. Clear. So next will be the judicial review. Okay, so initially there was no judicial review on the decision made by the presiding officer regarding anti-defection law. But the case of Kyoto Holohan and Jachilu in 1993, so Supreme Court said that the speaker, while educating the 10th schedule, okay, so he has to think as a tribunal. Okay, so tribunal always can have the appeal. Okay, so it is not the final decision. So just like that, the presiding officer also acts like a tribunal. So there will be always a judicial review regarding the decision of speaker regarding the anti-defection law, and Supreme Court allowed the partial judicial review. Okay, for the sake of anti-defection law. Okay, so if any order, if any disqualification done by the presiding officer, okay, so if that is against the violation of the constitution, so automatically it will be checked by the Supreme Court according to Article 13 of the judicial review, and Supreme Court can pass the judgment which is contradicting to the presiding officer also. Okay, so that is the judicial review regarding the anti-defection law. Next, speaker review its own decision. Okay, so speaker can also review its own decision to disqualify the members according to the anti-defection law. Okay, so speaker can review its own decision. That was happened in the Goa Legislative Assembly with Kasinath Jalmi versus Speaker of Goa. Okay. So regarding the obeying of the party whip, okay, so if any person violates the party whip, automatically he will be expelled, he will be moved out of the party. Okay, so see this case, very interesting. G. Vishwanathan versus Honorable Speaker of Tamil Nadu. In 1996, the Supreme Court ruled that the expelled member was bound by the party's whip even after the expulsion. Okay, even after the expulsion of the party, he has to bound the whip. Okay, his failure to adhere it would result in disqualification from the house. That means if a person is moving out of the party whip even after the expulsion, okay, so because he was the party member, he was winning on the party symbol, so he has to adhere the party rules. Okay, so that was mentioned by the Supreme Court itself. So let us see important global scenarios regarding the anti-defection law. Okay, so there are so many anti-defection law similarities which are related to India. So in Bangladesh, there was an article called Article 70 that was very, very similar to the anti-defection law. Okay, so it is saying that if any member has to vacate his seat, he has to resign from the party. Okay, or if he goes any vote against the direction of the party, party విప్కి వ్యతిరేకంగా కానీ, ఓకే, సో పార్టీకి వ్యతిరేకంగా పాల్పడినప్పుడు ఖచ్చితంగా he has to vacate the seat. Okay, so this dispute is referred to the speaker, and then the speaker is referring to the election commission regarding the fate of the person. Clear. Next, South Africa. So South Africa also have this kind of law on defection. Okay, so in the South Africa also, if any member has to vacate the seat, he has to cease to the member of the parties that nominated by that particular party. So ఏ పార్టీ అయితే తన నామినేట్ చేసిందో ఆ పార్టీ మెంబర్షిప్ తను కోల్పోవాల్సి వస్తుంది. So there was in the UK also, there is no law on defection in particular, but however MP can lose membership of the party if he disobeys the party whip. పార్టీ విప్ వ్యతిరేకంగా ఎవరైనా ఓటు వేసినా, ఎవరైనా ఓటు వేయకుండా అబ్స్టైన్ అయినా, సో అట్లాంటి వాళ్ళని ఖచ్చితంగా స్పీకర్ రిమూవ్ చేస్తారు. ఓకే, సో బట్ దే కెన్ కీప్ దేర్ హౌస్ యాజ్ అ ఇండిపెండెంట్. సో హౌస్లో మాత్రం ఉంటారు. సో పార్టీ చెందిన సభ్యత్వం కోల్పోతారు, బట్ దే కెన్ రిమైన్ యాజ్ అ ఇండిపెండెంట్ మెంబర్స్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ క్వైట్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్. నెక్స్ట్, ఇన్ ఆస్ట్రేలియా అండ్ జర్మనీ, there are no laws on defection regarding the Australia and Germany. Okay, so this was the international scenarios regarding the anti-defection law compared with India. So finally, the way forward, the scope of reforms that are required to revamp the anti-defection law. So we need a revampment, we need a rejuvenation regarding the anti-defection law. Okay, so some of the scope of reforms, let us discuss. So first one is Dinesh Goswami committee. So this Dinesh Goswami committee is recommending the disqualification that are 10th schedule. Okay, so if any member voluntarily gives up the members of political party, or if any member abstains from voting or votes contrary to the party whip regarding the vote of confidence or no confidence motion, okay, so he will be removed, he will be disqualified under anti-defection law. Okay, it also further said that either president or governor should decide the disqualification under the 10th schedule on the advice of election commissioners. He said that speaker role is very ambiguous. Okay, so speaker should be kept out of this purview. So they said that either president or governor should take the decision regarding the disqualification of anti-defection law on the advice of election commission. Okay, so these are the reforms set by the Dinesh Goswami committee. Clear? So next committee is Halim committee on the anti-defection law. So this committee happened in 1988. Okay, so what they said, it is recommending that voluntarily giving up membership of the political party should be disqualified. Okay, so it also said that it placed some restrictions such as prohibition on joining other party, prohibition on holding office on the government regarding the defected members. ఎవరైతే పార్టీ ఫిరాయింపులు పాల్పడతారో సో దే షుడ్ నాట్ గెట్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ గవర్నమెంట్ పోస్ట్ లైక్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ మినిస్ట్రియల్ పోస్ట్. వీళ్ళకి పదవులు ఏమైనా గవర్నమెంట్ పదవులు కానీ ఓకే లేదా పార్టీ సభ్యత్వం కూడా రద్దు చేయాలని చెప్పి ఎవరు చెప్పారమ్మా? హలీం కమిటీ అని చెప్పింది. హలీం కమిటీ ఈస్ వెరీ స్ట్రిక్ట్ ఆన్ ద డిఫెక్టర్స్. Okay, so later law commission in the 170 report in the 1999 also said that exemptions of the mergers ని ఇందులో పక్కన పెట్టేయడం అనేది చాలా తప్పు అని వీళ్ళు భావించారు. సో మర్జర్స్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో క్రియేటింగ్ సో మచ్ ఆఫ్ ambiguity regarding the anti-defection law. So mergers should not be allowed and should be deleted. Okay, so to maintain the sanctity of anti-defection law. Okay, so pre-poll alliances should be considered as political parties under the, so after post-poll alliances కాకుండా pre-poll alliances should be considered as political parties under the law. This was very important feature. Okay, so political parties should use the limited number of whips for the important situations. So whips cannot be issued all the time. Whips are especially destroying the article 19 freedom of speech and expression of the legislature. So whip should be used in a limited way only on the important situations. All these reforms are very much needed to revamp the anti-defection law. Okay, సో ప్రీ పోల్ ఎలక్ట్రల్ ఎలక్షన్స్ కూడా అంటే ఏంటమ్మా, సో ఎలక్షన్ ముందు ఎవరైతే సంధి కుదుర్చుకుంటారో అట్లాంటి వాటిని సో దే వాంట్ టు రికగ్నైజ్ యాజ్ ఎ పొలిటికల్ పార్టీ. ఓకే, ఫైనల్లీ ద ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్, ద ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆర్ గవర్నర్ షుడ్ డిసైడ్ ద డిస్క్వాలిఫికేషన్ రిగార్డింగ్ ద 10th schedule on the advice of election commission. That was said by the Goswami committee also. Okay, and constitutional review commission also said that prohibition on defectors from holding the public office for the duration of the remaining term. సో ఎవరైతే 5 yearsకి ఎన్నుకోబడతారో వాళ్ళందరినీ కూడా ద పర్సన్స్ హూ ఆర్ డిఫెక్టింగ్ ద పార్టీ దే షుడ్ నాట్ హోల్డ్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పబ్లిక్ ఆఫీస్ నుంచి వాళ్ళందరినీ బయట పెట్టాలి. దే షుడ్ నాట్ గివ్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పోస్ట్ రిగార్డింగ్ ద గవర్నమెంట్. ఓకే, ద ఓట్ కాస్ట్ బై ద డిఫెక్టర్ టు రిమూవ్ ఎ గవర్నమెంట్ షుడ్ బి కన్సిడర్డ్ ఇన్వాలిడ్. ఎవరైతే డిఫెక్టర్ ఉంటారో సో ప్రభుత్వం పడిపోవాలని చెప్పి ఓటు వేసినటువంటి సొంత పార్టీ డిఫెక్టర్స్ ఉంటారో సో వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా దే షుడ్ బి కన్సిడర్డ్ యాజ్ ఇన్వాలిడ్. Okay, so that is all regarding the anti-defection law. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the lecture. Have a nice day. Take care.